What's up, Fotp students? My name is Seth Walker. I'm the student pastor here at Fotp Hazlet and Justin campus. You guys, I'm excited as we start our new series called The New Normal. And let's face it, in this day and age and everything going on in the world, we are in a time of a new normal. You look back 3 to 4 months ago, we're all going out to restaurants, to movie theaters, we're seeing our friends every single week, we're going to school every single day, physically in person. In an instant, all that changed. To where now school is fully online. Our seniors aren't getting to go graduate and enjoy their last few months of school being there physically, but instead they're doing it online. Instead of going to restaurants, we're ordering more food through apps and having it delivered to our houses than ever before. Even church has changed. We have seen church go from meeting every single week in person physically on Sundays to our student ministry on Wednesdays and Sunday nights to now being fully online. And at the same time, I know the new normal, we all miss the old, but at the same time, it's been good. For the church, it's been incredible. We've seen more people come to Jesus because of this. We've had the ability to reach more people because of this. But at the same time, I really miss the old thing. I miss seeing you every single week. I miss seeing people. I miss just being around you on Sundays and Wednesdays. I miss that and I crave that. But I'm also thankful that God has prevailed, that he's continued to grow and shown his love and mercy to people that probably might have not heard it if it weren't for everything going on. And God always prevails and he always does, but we're in the situation of a new normal. And when it comes to a new normal and your faith, it's your decision to make a new normal. And that decision is choosing to follow Christ and knowing who he is, say, hey, look, God, I'm going to follow you and love you and live for you instead of myself. And two, I love the stories of the disciples and especially how they came to follow Jesus, because even for them, they had to make that decision of saying, hey, my new normal is going to be Christ-centered. They weren't just put on the earth and the day they were born, they knew hey, look, I'm going to follow Jesus. Life's going to be perfect. Everything's going to be good. No, they had to make that decision to accept Christ and follow him. And we are going to look in Luke 5 today. And I'm going to explain a lot of the passages in the text to you, and we're going to read a few key verses out of it. But so basically, what's going on in Luke 5 is with Simon and Peter, Jesus is on the lake talking and preaching to a bunch of people. And as he's preaching, more and more people start coming, so it starts getting crowded. So Jesus looks at Peter, or Simon, he says, hey, do you mind taking me out on the boat a little bit into the water, paddling out so that way more people can see me and hear me? Simon does it, and he's like, yeah, bro, I got you. I'll paddle you out a little bit so that way more people can hear you. And as he does it, Jesus continues to preach. But this is where it really starts to get interesting. And as Jesus stopped preaching, he looked at Simon and he says, hey, go out to the deep end and cast your nets. And that's where we pick up in verse 5. This is Simon's response. It says, Simon answered, Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down the nets. And so Simon does what Jesus tells him to. So he starts going out there and he casts his net. And as he starts pulling it up, he realizes it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And he realizes there's so many fish, he cannot possibly pull up the fish on his own. He has to have help. So he's calling Peter, saying, Peter, come help me. Bring the second boat. I need help. I cannot get all these fish up. Peter comes out there and they're pulling it up. They fill up one boat and they fill up the second boat to where both boats are so full of fish that they almost start to sink. They get back to shore and they look at Jesus saying, we are not worthy to be in your presence. This is incredible. We love you and we don't deserve this. But this is what Jesus says to them in verse 10. He says, then Jesus said to Simon, don't be afraid. From now on, you will fish for people. So they pulled their boats up on shore, left everything, and followed him. Guys, that's incredible. Even the disciples made that decision to follow him, saying, look, we're leaving everything behind, the normal that we know. We're just average, everyday fishermen. Nothing exciting goes on in our life. We wake up and we fish. Simple as that. We go home, go to bed, repeat the next day. But that all changed. Their new normal was to follow Jesus. And because of that, their lives were changed forever. And because of their decision, millions and millions and millions of lives are changed. Guys, and you have that same decision to make. You have the same decision to say, look, I know everything in the world's going crazy right now, and everything's changing, but my new normal is to follow Christ, to live through him and for him and love him, not for myself, but to live life through and for God. Guys, for some of you, that's the decision you have to make. And for some of you, it's a decision you already made, but you could be in the point of your life where you're like, look, I made that decision, I just didn't live it out. I spoke the words, I walked the walk for a little bit, but when that newness kind of wore off, you stopped. You fell back into temptation. Maybe it's time for you to say, look, God, I don't just need to live and just know that I need to love you so I can go to heaven, but I also need to live through you and live it out in my life. I need to be a fisherman for other people. I need to spread your word. I need to show them what you can truly do in my life and in their life. Guys, I just want you to know that God's always got your back. And with this new normal that's coming about, and throughout the series, we're going to see what exactly that looks like. But that first step to the new normal is making the commitment to say, my new normal is going to be Christ-centered and living through God. Guys, I want to tell you I love you, and I'm thankful for you, and I will see you next week. Thanks.